Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Summary. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. Liverpool sucks. Steve, how are you doing this morning, man?
Personally, I'm great. As it pertains to Liverpool, not great.
We suck so bad, bro. What is happening to this club?
I wish I knew. Let me just say that. I wish I knew. It's really bad. That's all I know. We're the worst team in the league right now.
On current form, we're definitely the worst team in the league. I wonder, over the last month, where we would sit if they started the table over.
Gotta be bottom 5. Down there with Sheffield.
Dude, Sheffield, bye-bye. See ya. Have a good time in the championship, Sheffield. We'll be there soon.
I think they're the worst Prem team ever, aren't they?
How many points do they end with? Like 18?
I don't know. I mean, there's still some games to go. But they,
Barely.
I think they broke the record for least amount or most goals conceded or something. And there's still like 3 or 4 games left.
Dude, that's just unbelievable. Good morning to everyone in the chat. My mother, Liz, Aylor, Ross, Dustin, Doug's in here. What's going on, everybody? Liz, shout out to Liz. Definitely become a channel member. And, Steve, can you pin Liz's comment real quick?
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Steve can pin!
I just want to say it's been a long and grueling road and process to get to this point. And I'm going to put all the blame on Kyle because it was just a setting that he could have set up 3 years ago.
No, it just came out today.
No. This has been a problem for years because of you.
Well, Steve, who would you like to thank for the opportunity to pin?
I'd like to thank myself for figuring out the steps. I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Absolutely no one. That's what I was thinking. Oh, man. All right, I'll take the blame. I take the blame, but, man, it's a great day. Steve, I just got to give Steve a shout out because he came into the stream this morning just determined to figure out how to pin. He just said, you know what? I'm going to do it. Googled it, found it in 2 seconds, said, Kyle, I need you to go into settings and click this button. Did it. It literally took less than 2 minutes, and Steven was able to pin. So I got to give him the credit.
Yeah, it's quite a historic day in the history of this channel.
It is. Number 186, and we finally figured it out.
Is that what number we're on?
We're at 186, bro. Episode 186.
Wow.
Look, let's just chat about the game yesterday. Liverpool draw with West Ham, and we had the own goal that had to happen, and then I don't even remember the first goal. What the hell? How did we score?
Robertson.
Oh God, this just goes to what I'm trying to say. We had Robertson. We needed Robertson to score a goal. Our forwards can't score. And I think it's a little bit of poetic justice, too, the fact that Robertson was saying our forwards need to be better, and then he finishes. So that kind of backs up what he was saying. And I do want to touch on the refereeing thing, Steve, because I kind of, I was watching the game, but I missed that portion. So what exactly happened where he's getting all this criticism that he's corrupt?
Okay, so here's what happened. And I think you need to listen to this because I don't think you followed it well.
I didn't.
So,
that's what I just
Areola catches the ball and goes down.
Oh, nipple boy.
He is down, but the whistle never gets blown. Okay, maybe he tweaked something, or they bumped, or he got stepped on, whatever the case may be. But he went down, and it was probably one of those like goalkeeper time wasting things where you lay down with the ball, right? Because it's towards the end of the game,
right?
Maybe not, but regardless, the whistle was never blown. So he gets up a few seconds later, rolls it out for a goal kick. But the ball is live, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
The whistle was never blown. He doesn't need to roll it out for a goal kick. He's got the ball. He can punt it out. Right?
Yeah.
So he rolls the ball out. It's probably like 6 to 8 yards from him.
I remember that.
Gakpo makes a smart move and starts sprinting at the ball. Just as he's ready to tap it in, the referee blows the whistle to stop play. And Gakpo's like, what? What the heck? You know? Gakpo did the right thing. So the referee blows the whistle at this point and then goes to Areola and tells him to go down with an injury.
I saw that too.
To cover his own ass because he didn't blow the original whistle and the ball was live. He made a mistake. So Gakpo should have tapped that in regardless. The fact that he stopped is a mistake. It's just like in the NFL when there's a fumble, but there's like no whistle. You're not sure if it's a fumble. Grab it and run it in. Leave nothing to chance. So Gakpo stops when he heard the whistle finally. And they ended up giving a goal kick. But it wasn't supposed to be one because there was no whistle originally to stop play. So that should have been a goal.
I missed the most important part because I saw him roll the ball out and I saw the ref come over and say, hey, go down. So my thinking was that the ref was just being a concerned citizen. And he was like, hey, look, you're injured, just go down. And I saw all this uproar about it. And I completely missed, because when I'm doing the watch along, there's no volume. So I didn't hear the whistles or anything. That's nuts, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And here's this. Gosh, I got to get better at this. Gakpo is stupid to not put the ball into the net, let the ref and keeper off the hook. Yeah, I mean, if he just puts that ball into the net, then there's something maybe that they can look at. We shouldn't be punished because of a referee's mistake, and it seems to keep happening over and over and over. But the part that really bothers me is that he tried to cover it up on international television. You can't hide when you're out there. Like, we can read your lips. We can see that you walk over to Areola and say, like, hey, you're injured. Like, go down or whatever.
Yeah, get down.
Or you should have gone down.
Areola looks at him like, I am? He's like, well, okay.
Because West Ham still have something to play for. You know, so Areola is not like, I don't even think it was a case of, you know how Pickford grabs the ball and lays down and just wastes time.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a case of that to any extreme. But yeah, definitely super sketchy. Super sketchy.
Okay, so now that I'm seeing all of it, and I'm going on Twitter too, and there's got to be some accountability. We say it every week, dude. There's got to be some accountability with the referees, whether it's fines or a 2-minute review, whatever they do. But it almost seems like they get their faults called out, and then that's it. It's like, oh, my bad. That's it.
Like, why even have VAR? Or why even have so many officials overlooking every match if you can't get it right? These guys are supposed to be professionals.
Supposed to be.
Look, here's the deal. The mistake was on Areola. The ref didn't blow the whistle. Okay, so I guess you could call that a mistake. Maybe. If he thought play should have been dead at that point. But he didn't, so play is live.
Right, you can't.
Right? Maybe it's human error.
He tried to cover up his mistake with another mistake.
Right, but the mistake is on Areola for not hearing a whistle and thinking he heard a whistle or assuming play was dead. So they should be punished for that. And Gakpo should have tapped that in. Doug says the refereeing this season has been the worst. So many mistakes.
Come on, man. I'm on it. You got to be quicker.
I just missed it. Yeah.
The refereeing this season is the worst. Yeah. And you go back to tons of we talked about this last week, Steve. You got the Odegaard handball. You got the Doku knee to the chest or boot to the chest. Obviously, Luis Diaz. You got this one, which, again, we can look back at all these like poor refereeing errors. But let's just get down to brass tacks and the fact that we're not good. Regardless of if we tap that ball in and capitalize on the mistake, we're not good, dude. And we haven't been good for about a month now.
It's been absolutely brutal. But at the end of the day, I think we deserved 3 points yesterday. And the refereeing did decide that match. We had 28 shots to their 11. But of those 28 shots, only 8 were on target. They had 11 shots, 8 on target. So same number of shots on target, but 17 less shots. We're not clinical whatsoever.
I want to bring up something to you, and I talked about this a little bit in my stream yesterday. Luis Diaz has the lowest conversion rate of anyone on the team, any forward, 8%. 8% conversion rate. That's awful. Okay? He had 2 or 3 separate chances yesterday where instead of putting it on goal, he sent it back across the 6-yard area. He was offside on this one, but he went to shoot, and it was like the handball. It hit Antonio or Ogbonna in the hand. Wide open net. And then, of course, he had the one that hit the post and came right back at him. Luis Diaz is not clinical. I've felt this deep inside for a long time now. Luis Diaz does a lot of dancing. He'll have games where he's really putting in effort. He's not clinical, dude. Never has been. Stats speak for themselves. And the eye test, too. That's the first thing. And even Salah's at like 20% this year. Guess who has the most?
Jota.
Of course. Jota's up at like 31. It's remarkable. Yeah, he can't. He never can. He's injured again. He's out for another 2 weeks with another muscle injury. It's unbelievable. Don't even get me started on Darwin. Something happened. Something happened with Darwin. But regardless, 29? Is that what you said? 29 shots?
28.
28 shots. That's every game for us now, bro. Every game we have 20, 25 plus shots and sub 10 on target. And we needed an own goal yesterday to get 2 goals and Robertson to score. That's not okay.
It's just so bad.
You know, and you texted me saying no optimism. I can't be optimistic about, I mean, if we won that game, maybe. But then you look at the fact that Salah and Klopp are going at it on the sideline. I mean, what the hell happened there?
If we won that match, Kyle, we'd be in first.
Yeah, but
instead,
2 games in hand.
Right, but I think Arsenal and City could drop some points. Yesterday took us out of the race. We're done. Completely done. All that quadruple talk for nothing. Absolutely nothing.
What happened with Salah and Klopp?
He probably said something like, "Are you ready to go out?" or like, "Can you do this?" or something. And Salah wasn't happy because he was benched from the start. We've seen that before. Salah likes to play, but he's been on shit form. Let's not sugarcoat it. He's been awful.
But he hasn't played.
If you can get an offer for 150 million, he's got to go. He's got to go.
DJ Palsy P, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Ross, Queasy E, shout out to everyone in the chat. Make sure you like the stream if you're enjoying so far, guys. And don't forget to check out our channel memberships. You get benefits of the member badges. Kenny G, Ross, Liz, you can see them all next to him. RDO McDodgen here as well. What's up, man? And also the custom emojis and access to our Discord group. So go ahead and check that out. 7 points we've lost to mistakes they've apologized for. This going back to the refs, but also we don't deserve to be the first base on the finish to the season. It's just laughable. Speaking of laughable, DJ Palsy P says our fans are laughable. They all say that injuries and tiredness are to blame. I asked them why doesn't it affect Arsenal and the 115er, which, by the way, in the coming weeks, there's supposed to be a hearing for that. They can't even respond. It's just a cop-out. I haven't blamed the injuries in a while, at least in the last month. The last month has been nothing but poor performance, Steve. Would you agree?
Garbage.
Dog shit. Trash.
Waste of time. No heart, no passion. And they may I was just reading a comment here. This is
Sorry.
Aylor says, I think both the manager and the players are burnt out. I do agree that this is probably the case to some extent. Now, it's not an excuse. It's not reasonable because everybody's playing a ton of matches, and Arsenal and City included. But the difference is they're playing to their potential and we're not. We've been playing awful. It's on us. Like, it's so easy when we lose over the last 5 or 6 years to say, oh, here's the reason why. This decision, this deflection. These guys are hurt. That's not the case right now. We've just been awful. We got no one else to blame but ourselves. Klopp's definitely burnt out.
Oh, you can tell. It's written all over his face.
He's definitely burnt out. He just expects that everything he does before the match should lead to a win. And then when things start going sour and we concede first every match, he's got that little smirk on his face. He's nodding his head. I'm just tired of it. It's time to move on.
I don't want to go down that road and saying that like that's annoying because that's just who he is. He smiles because that's how he deals with that's his way of saying like, what are we doing? He's just like, he's almost laughing at the players when he does that, Steve. He's like, why are you guys conceding again? I've given you all the tools to not concede. Shout out to Liz for gifting another channel membership. Thank you very much, Liz. Appreciate that. This channel's fan-funded, guys, so appreciate you channel members and what you do. Richard Huttonson trying to get a rise out of us, bro. You know we'd be the worst team in the world if this was the case. Just going out there. Can't have American players. There's only a handful of good ones. Queasy says the FA Cup lose to United really shook everyone. That's where it all stems back to, bro. The Kwanzaa back pass, something happened. Something happened that game. And Imperious Groover says the curse of the green away shirt this season. Green is bad omen for LFC. I don't like I don't like to get into too much of that, but I don't know, dude. The team just needs to be. I think the team is mentally checked out. You're starting to see a lot of stuff regarding player contracts and looking forward. I asked this last week, but I'm going to ask it again. Do you think Klopp made a mistake coming out midway through the season saying, I'm leaving, I'm done?
I think it was a well thought out decision. And I'm sure he consulted with some people before he made the decision. And I think maybe he thought it would push the boys to, let's end on a high note.
Right.
Together.
It's 50-50.
I don't think it was a mistake. Because it would have been, I think, just as shocking if he did it after a season. It would have been like, well, why didn't you tell us this earlier?
You can't win. It's a lose-lose, yeah.
Yeah. But so Angel says, our team has been rotated due to injuries. Tiredness is an excuse. But, there's really not that much rotation. All the guys that are playing are capable of being in a starting 11 on any given day. It's not like we have a nailed-on starting 11 that starts every match. Now, if we were playing a Champions League final, I'd say maybe. But we have all this quality. And the other thing is, with the quality that we have, we should be able to finish top 4 no matter who the manager is.
True.
It doesn't matter who.
You're seeing a lot of stuff come out now, too, that it says Klopp overachieved massively with this team this season. And I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know if I agree with that. I think the quality I think the quality in this team, in fact, he should, at this point, we might have underachieved.
Yeah, the overachievement thing is a joke.
I don't understand
and that's just because so much happened last year where we finished awfully out of the Champions League, moved on from big names, revamp the midfield to some extent. I think people were maybe thinking that it should be a transition year, but it's not. We brought in high quality players. They're plug and play players. They step right into a team. You still have Allison, you still have Trent, you still have Salah, you still have Konate and Virgil and Robertson. Like, the foundation was still there. You just brought in upgraded pieces.
True. Yes.
So if anything, it's underachievement to me.
I agree wholeheartedly. And
when you look at Arsenal, let me just get this out. When you look at Arsenal, we have a better lineup than they do. So did they overachieve? Were they supposed to finish above us this year? I don't think so. Maybe if you look at analytics and how last season went, but that's irrelevant. All of that's irrelevant. Everybody knows that last season for Liverpool was just an awful set of circumstances and a blip on the radar. Yeah. We were always going to challenge for top 2 and maybe for the title. And to be frank, the title was in our hands 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, it really was. And we just blew it.
We blew it.
Ross here says it's a transitional year. We revamped our entire midfield. In that sense, maybe your expectations aren't that high. Maybe a lot of people weren't expecting us to be really good, but at least better than last year, right? At least finishing in a Champions League spot. But now that we're playing like we're awful, that's where all this Klopp overachieved massively this season's coming from. That's a load of bullshit. Because 2 months ago, everyone's like, oh, we can win the quadruple. We can win the quadruple. No one's saying, that's not realistic. We're not good enough to do that. So it's almost like a defense mechanism. People are just saying that now because we're not playing well. We're not overachieving. The team is pound for pound. It's up there
first
with Man
or
City.
Second. Yeah. First or second. Best players in the league.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Yeah. Queasy says all the early games. And Ross, we are better than last year. That's the thing. As long as you improve year to year, you can't say that Klopp overachieved. I just don't like that sentiment. I really don't. And
if it's a transitional year, I guess, Ross, how do you get better? Like, who do you bring in that makes you better? Realistically.
No, I don't think
finisher,
Ross,
maybe?
No. I don't think Ross was saying like we're not good enough. I think he was just saying like maybe that's why people are saying we overachieved, because it is a transitional year.
I mean, we were favorites to win the Europa League. We were favorites to finish
2
or 3 in the league.
Every English team is favored to win the Europa League. And they go in and they just get smacked by some mid-major team. I don't know why that happens. We should win the Europa League. We should have. That's just a joke. Stellar, what's going on? Supreme Architect here says the team is good enough to win the title. The problem is the training methods burning out the players compared to Arsenal and City that hardly get any injuries. Going back to the injury thing, I don't know.
Arsenal have been relatively healthy this year, but City have dealt with injuries.
Yeah. And again, we can
Grealish,
talk about
Haaland,
injuries.
De Bruyne was out for a long time.
Yeah, he was. And he got
Stones has missed time. Ederson has missed time. Kyle Walker has missed time. All these staples have missed time. Maybe it is the training. Maybe it's the training regimen. I don't know.
No, dude. I think taking injuries out of it, just talking about this steep decline. I truly think it's just mental, bro. I think it is completely mental. I think Klopp is checked out. He's doing everything he can to just hang in there, but the players see it. Players aren't stupid. They can see he's burnt out, and players are a reflection of the manager. Same thing, right? They got other things on their mind now. They're like, oh, what's life going to be like after Klopp? Do I need to start talking to my agent about going to a different team? All these things are on their mind right now, and that's what all these players are going through. Just this morning, I saw something about Van Dijk looking at different options in Spain and Turkey and Germany and stuff. So it is on everybody's mind. And that's affecting the performance on the field. That's all it comes down to. Okay. Secure top 4, right? Get Slot in, Slot.
Pretty clinched.
Slot. And just finish out the season, man. Beat Tottenham, beat Villa, beat Wolves. Finish with what, 84 points? and you're good. Just get out of there. All right. Oyvind, what's up, man? But Steve, the positive news transitioning is the fact that Arne Slot, he's our guy. He's our guy. If you guys haven't checked out the video I made on him, go ahead over to the channel and check that out, the new era video. I didn't know anything about him until I made that video, so pretty informative. But I didn't know anything about this guy 4 days ago, man. Nothing about him.
Everybody that supports Feyenoord that I'm seeing says, like, you're getting an absolute gem. People manager, gentleman, tactician, plays exciting football. Seems like a good fit. And at this point, I'm excited for it. I'm ready for Klopp to go. I've seen enough. He's a legend. Build the statue, whatever you need to do, but it's time. It's never been more time. I've never had this thought until the last week or two. It's time for him to go, and I'm excited for him to go. For him to take his time to relax and recharge and do whatever he wants to do and spend time with his family, but we need to freshen up, because Jurgen Klopp is an expert at keeping you relevant and fighting for trophies, but he's not a serial winner of trophies. Trophies are all that matters. It doesn't matter how many points you get every year. You have to win trophies. One Premier League in 9 years, Kyle.
Don't start.
One Champions League in 9 years. One FA Cup. Two Carabao Cups.
Or two of the Carabao Cup. But Ardio says
one of everything. What is that, dude?
I'm sorry, man.
Emery wins trophies, Kyle.
Hey, good evening.
I'm tired of falling short every single time. It's so deflating. I said this the other day, and maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't, but I'd rather finish fourth comfortably than have your heart ripped out at the end of every season.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. For me, it's more of, I'm not blaming anyone. It just sucks. Like, to me, it's if I'm on the team, obviously you want to win. But being a fan, we get there and we fall short every time. That to me says, like, it's not like I'm okay with it. I'm not, my mindset doesn't automatically go, oh, let me blame somebody for it. It's not like, I'm just like, that's so annoying. It's always City. Right? If City aren't in the league, dude, we win. Like, I said this before, you're going to look back at this time and be like, damn, we were so good. We lost the league by a centimeter, a point. It's not like,
I'm not going to think that.
We just chose the time to be good when City were good also. And it just sucks. It absolutely sucks.
I'm going to think we went 9 years and wasted one of the greatest managers we've ever seen.
It's not a waste. It's not a waste. You can't look at it that way, man.
That's what it feels like today. It could be different next week, but
I mean, it definitely feels that way, but you can't look at it that way. You can't look at it like, oh, that was a waste when you got trophies. Maybe not as many as you wanted, but you were successful.
Michelangelo says you fall short because Liverpool don't have the players. I've never bought into this either.
Yeah, no, that's a load of bullshit.
We have the players, dude. Top 5 right back in the world. Top 5 left back. Probably the best goalkeeper. Best center back. Best right winger in Prem history. When we had Mane and Firmino, that front three was unbelievable. Thiago, Fabinho, Henderson, all these players. All-time greats to some extent, some of them. And you know who I think we're missing? I want to give a shout out to Joel Matip.
God, man, we miss him.
We forget about him, but I think we've missed him massively. Now, Kwanzaa has done fine. He's played his role. He's young. He's been great. He's barely put a foot wrong. This is not to slight him whatsoever. But the rotation option that we had of Matip and Konate was awesome. Awesome. And in those games where you're having trouble scoring, you need something to happen. You need someone to create something. Matip makes those runs. Matip can score headers here and there. He's just a veteran. He's a veteran. We controlled games better when Matip plays. Konate is great, and he's athletic, and he's awesome, and he's going to be one of the best. And he already is one of the best. But not having Matip, I think, is something people forget about that has cost us to some extent, especially with all the goals we've conceded early. We haven't let in like a crazy amount of goals this year, but conceding early and playing from behind is uncharacteristic.
You talk about serial winning. We are a serial goal conceding first team. We always concede first, it seems like. And going back to the Matip thing, bro, I agree with you 100%. I think Matip will always be one of the most underrated defenders that have ever played for Liverpool and in the Premier League. There were times when you're talking about him being, when Van Dijk's at his peak, there was no one else better than Matip. There was no one that came close to him. Maybe Ruben Diaz for like a point in time. No one was better than Matip, man. He was so good. The dancing giraffe, man. Nah, he's not getting one, man. He's not getting another year. He's gone. It's sad. Going back to Arne Slot, the deal. All right. So we're going to pay 9 million euros plus 2 million for him. Total package with the backroom staff in excess of 13 million. Payment terms 1 year. So it's a 1-year deal.
Oh, payment terms would be that means we have 1 year to pay it.
Oh, got it. All right, we have 1 year to pay it. So, hey, bring him in.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. He's not one of these journeymen. He's not Tuchel. He's not De or Mourinho or one of these guys that's been at all these big clubs.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I do like your comment about the serial winner. I keep thinking about that. Would you classify Jose Mourinho as a serial winner?
I mean, he's been at it for so long. But yeah.
Excluding his time at Tottenham, right? Excluding that.
Yeah, I mean, excluding a couple of stints he's had, I'd say he's a serial winner. He just won something with Roma, didn't he, last season?
I think he won the Europa League or the Conference League.
He won. No, West Ham won the Conference League. I think he won the Europa League with Roma.
Did he win or did he lose in the final?
They won something, dude.
They went to the final. I know they did. Help us out, guys.
Conference League in 21-22.
Okay. Liz says he's an ass, but yes, he is a serial winner.
He just wins trophies, man.
So, because we were linked with Jose Mourinho coming, and everyone was like, no, we don't want him.
Yeah, that's right. He did beat Feyenoord. He beat Slot for that.
That's kind of crazy. The only reason I bring that up, man, is because I personally think Klopp is going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. Not the greatest, one of the greatest of all time. But you are always in the boat of, look, when you look at trophies, when you look at his ability to win, even if he does have great teams, when you put it in the sense of, hey, he's here for 9 years or 8 years, whatever it is, and he's only won 1 Premier League, 1 Champions League, and he's been to 2 finals or 3 finals, then you're getting into the argument like the LeBron versus Jordan argument. Jordan's a serial winner in finals. LeBron loses all the time. You're getting into that argument. So I agree with you, but just because I love Klopp, I'm letting my emotions get in the way. I would rather have a great manager that everybody loves and is pretty successful than a Jose Mourinho or a serial. I don't know. That's just how I don't know what I'm trying to get at, man. I'm just trying to talk this out.
I mean, the club is 140 years old or 130 years old, whatever it is, right? we're always going to remember Klopp, but we're not known for trophies. Like, we're known for being one of the best teams in Europe, but not for trophies lately.
No, oh, I thought you meant of all time. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, we are.
No,
We're the most successful club in England.
I know that, Kyle. Kyle, everyone knows that. But what have you done for me lately? Like,
what,
dude,
you
we won
don't
that
like
we won that Champions League like 5 years ago.
I know, bro. And it was the most boring Champions League final I've ever watched.
We won the league 4 years ago.
With the asterisks.
You got the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. Those are nice. Those are icing on the cake. But it's time for something new, man. It's time for something new.
I'm still reading the Firmino book, and nothing will ever top that period of winning the Champions League, winning the Club World Cup, winning the Super Cup. That period of time was just unmatched. Everyone was playing at their absolute peak. We had the best team, dude. And you look at it on paper and you're like, oh man, those players aren't really flashy. But damn, we were good. Damn, we were good, man. Just reminiscing on the good old days.
Now, we have the most shots in the league. And as of yesterday, we were up by like 70 shots. And then we had another 28.
Yep. I saw that stat as well. And we lead the closest team by at least 60 or 70.
65 before yesterday's match.
Oh, it's unbelievable. That's just unacceptable for me. And the front players that we have, like you said, best winger in the world, at least in the Premier League. Probably not the world, but best winger in the Premier League. You got Darwin Nunez. You got Luis Diaz, who conversion rate wise, not the best, but these are still great forwards. And for them not to be converting, dude, we're ass on the counterattack. We're so bad. Why is that? We used to be the best counterattacking team in the world. No one matched Mane, Firmino, Salah. As soon as that transition happened, that's when I started to notice that. Is there a chemistry problem in those front three right now?
They're awful. They're spent. They need the summer.
Arne
and you
Slot
can bet they're all going to work on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's all Darwin's going to do all year. He's committed. There's no doubt he's committed.
No,
he wants to finish.
Gakpo too.
Yeah, Gakpo's had a weird year. But lately I've been wanting to see Gakpo. And Salah, look, Salah, it's a long, long year, man. He had that injury. He was really good in the beginning. You still see glimpses of brilliance, but he's just in bad form right now.
This might be the first year. I mean, unless he picks it up, he's not going to end with 20 goals in the Premier League since he's been here.
No, he hasn't had 20 once or twice.
No, I think every year he's had 20.
I don't think that's true. I don't think he had 20 last year.
All right, now I got to look it up.
But anyways.
Damn, you're right. Hate you.
It doesn't matter.
Well, the 2 years that he missed it, bro, he had 19. This year he has 17. He's still consistent. I'm not mad about it, but he's definitely seemed way off this year. He's also has it in less matches this year. So in fact, he's actually had a pretty decent year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been fine this year. Lately, he's just been kind of off, and that's all anybody ever thinks about is like recent stuff. There's still games to play too. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a hat trick next match.
Just bags a hat trick,
yeah. Like
Tottenham.
It's, but like, I'm not gonna sit here and blame Salah for the reason we haven't been good. Salah always has a dip in form every season, except for that first year. He always has a little bit of a valley at some point. I don't think it's his age or any of that. I think I think Salah is very emotional in the sense that how things are going with the team is kind of how he's going to play.
Right.
I think he feeds off the energy of others. How clinical the passes are coming into him. How good are the crosses? How much space does he have? He's relying on a lot of outside factors. I think it's very rare these days that he makes something out of nothing and carries the team.
He never did. I don't care what anyone says. Salah, he has glimpses of creating for himself. But how often, bro, will you see Salah pick the ball up outside the box and dribble past people and then finish? A couple times you can think of right off the bat, like Man City or Watford or, in his prime. I haven't seen that. He relies on service. You're right. He relies on good balls, good through balls, good balls over the top, maybe some crosses. That's my opinion. I've never thought he's been great on the ball. For me, it just feels like he's going to lose it all the time. But maybe that's just an eye test thing.
Ardio says, the thing is, our midfield refresh has brought so many more chances. If we had a true finisher up front, we'd be talking very differently now. And that's so true. McAllister putting in balls over the top, seeing Trent more in midfield, right? You still have the great delivery from the wing backs. Soboslai, Harvey Elliott has had a very solid year. The statistics aren't there, but he creates chances. We've had so many chances. We used to complain about this. Last season, it was we need a whole midfield rehaul.
Which we
Years
got.
ago, it was Milner, Wijnaldum, Henderson, Fabinho. All they do is pass it backwards. There's no attacking there. Well, This year we solved that, and we just can't put the chances away. I don't think that necessarily means we need new players. These players just have to finish.
That's all it is. Yes.
That said, if we come into next season with the same lineup, I don't expect to win anything. So there has to be something new.
Or a change in how we approach attack or defense or whatever the case may be, right? Dustin here asks, is Salah good for the dressing room right now? If he can't do it, he must leave. I think Salah is a great person to have around. He's humble, he's professional, happy. Yesterday was just a blip on the radar. I think being benched for the second game in a row says something. Salah is never benched, ever. This is the first time since he's been here where I legit can remember him being benched 2 games in a row if he's healthy. If he's healthy, he plays, and he's always pissed off if he's subbed off. Always pissed off. He's always been mad when he comes off the pitch early. Always. I think what it came down to yesterday was he was pissed he didn't start. And so Klopp puts him on. Salah takes it as kind of a slap in the face, almost like he looks at Klopp and says, oh, yeah, it's about damn time. Whereas Klopp is looking at it like, look, we got to rotate. We just had 4 games in the span of 10 days, right? I'm just trying to rotate. But it's weird that Klopp benched Salah for 2 games. He always plays, dude. Salah's played in Carabao Cup games and in FA Cup 4th round games. It doesn't matter. Salah always plays. So Klopp might just be so checked out that he's making very poor decisions with the starting 11.
Even when Salah's off form, when you can't score, he's got to be in there, I think. Because he can put a shot on target at least. He put in a great cross yesterday that was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah.
Hey, Shannon, what's up?
Off like a volley, he put in a low cross over to Nunez that would have been tapped in, but it was a great play defensively. He can still do things that are very good.
Yes, I remember that.
With his right foot, that was. I don't see anybody else doing that. Like literally no one else. I see crosses going to the box to no one.
Literally.
Robertson and Soboslai get the ball out on the sides. They get a little bit of pressure. They just panic and lob it in. There's no one there. No one's there.
We have no space to operate in the final third. That's all I was thinking yesterday. I'm thinking exactly what you just said. Little bit of pressure in the final third from 8 West Ham defenders that are all just sitting in the box, and we have 2 guys forward, Robbo and Trent, Robbo and Darwin. But literally, you're right. Why? And West Ham gets around the box. We have 4 guys back, and they have so much space to operate. I've noticed that more and more. And it's just how we defend. We don't sit super deep. And that's another thing I'm going to like about Arne is the fact that he's not afraid to play a low block. Watch my video if you haven't. That's stressful to me. And that's probably why we have so many shots and so little on target. Because we just get in these situations where no one's pushed forward or we're just rushing it, like you said, where we're just lobbing the ball in.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything. A weak cross is never going to lead to a goal when you have Diaz and Elliott in the box waiting. What are they going to do? Even Gakpo. Like, if you're going to put in a cross, make sure someone's there or just reset.
Steve, this is what I want to talk about to close out the show. I know you've seen the clips of during COVID. No one's in the stadium. You can hear Henderson's voice echoing. You can hear him directing traffic every single touch, saying, go Robbo, go Trent, pass back, stop, go. Every time there's something on the pitch that doesn't go right, I look at Van Dijk now, and Van Dijk is throwing his hands up, looking at other players, and it seems like he's blaming them. Now, it's fine to get upset. All right, it's completely fine to get pissed off and frustrated, especially if you're doing your job and other people aren't. Okay? But that pisses me the hell off, man. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but I don't want to see my captain acting like that, dude. You got to pick people up. Like, if a goal goes in, I'm looking for Van Dijk to go, let's go, pick it up, like that. Not, what the fuck? That legit pisses me off. And Liz here says, do we need more vocal captains? I don't know if it's a vocal thing. I just think it's an attitude thing. Van Dijk has always been like that. Like, he's very cold and very, like, stoic, and he does a good job. But he gets pissed off when things don't go his way.
He does wear his emotions on his sleeve in a negative fashion, for sure. But I think he's a good captain. I don't think he is the reason why this has happened.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply bringing up that, you know what I mean? That's all. And the timing is great, too, because Firmino's memoir, he says, he was talking about Henderson. He says, Henderson is the type of captain, he's annoying. He's always yelling at you. He's always talking to you, but he'll respond to what you say. So there was an example he used. He said he was yelling at Coutinho once, and Coutinho turned around and he said, stop yelling at me. And Hendo stopped. But Van Dijk's not doing that during the game. Van Dijk's not directing traffic. He's not vocal. And every captain's different, right? Some captains are just given the captain's armband because they're the best player, right? They're not a leader. Van Dijk is a leader, but I don't like his attitude sometimes. That's all I'm trying to say. Kenny says, looks like we need a new captain. Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Van Dijk's the only choice for me to be captain. I need to be critical of him for a second, man.
Robbo and Trent are up there too, but
Robbo,
no, I'm not worried about that. It's the last thing I care about right now is who's the captain.
I wanted to bring it up. Just wanted to bring it up. Again, I wanted to thank everyone for their support. Channel members specifically, you guys keep the channel going. Thank you so much. And everyone else for being here. Steve, do you have any closing thoughts?
I'm ready for August, Kyle. It's going to be a painful last few weeks of the season. Nothing to play for, really.
Yeah, but
even if you win the last 3, you send Klopp out with 84 points. Like, okay, see ya. We bottled it.
Are there
not as bad as Arsenal, not as bad as other teams have bottled it, but we bottled it. We had it in our hands, and we fell off a cliff. We're not even fighting for it anymore. There's nothing to play for.
That's what's bothering me is there's no fight on the field.
No, we have nothing to fight for.
No, but even when we did, there was no... Look at Atalanta. Nobody wanted to play, and we actually had something to play for.
Yeah, they completely neutralized us. Credit to them. Shout out to them. They made us look awful.
We couldn't get the ball past the midfield line, Steve.
Yep.
Absolute joke, man. But who knows? Optimism with a new manager, right? Things are exciting. New managers coming in, fresh blood, new backroom staff. Michael Edwards back in charge, man. I'm pretty excited about that. And let's just finish out the season on a high note, go into the summer, be positive, and let's move forward, man. Again, appreciate all you guys being here. Stay as positive as you can. I know it's tough because we suck right now, but hey, time goes on. Time heals all wounds, as they say. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, guys. Until next time, take care.